started with a phone call, I think in November 1989. I was sitting in my office and somebody said to me, there's a phone call from the police. So my obvious reaction was, what on earth have I done? And the person at the other end of the phone said, there's a prisoner who'd like to speak to you. And I said, I don't know any prisoners. So he said, you know this one? So I said, who? So he said, Nelson Mandela. So I said, you're kidding. So he said, no, he would like to see you. So I said, when? So he said, anytime. I think the 7th or 8th of January 1990, about a month before he was released. And we had this wonderful conversation in the morning. He gave me a very leisurely lunch. And then I went off. I thought it was going to be about the past. And, you know, at the time I was the head of corporate affairs for Anglo-American, and I thought, you know, I was going to be asked about Anglo-American and its role in the economy and the mining industry and migrant labour, instead of which he wanted to talk about the future and talk about particularly the kind of where you become a winning nation in the global economy. So it was much more around the sort of current state of affairs in the world and how one can position South Africa to basically go on a high economic growth path than actually dwelling on past injustices. He was so open-minded. That was the thing. It really struck me that he was searching for ideas, and I was just one of the guys that he wanted to see to gain experience. I didn't get any feeling at the interview that he was going to be released a month later, but obviously in retrospect that was precisely what was happening. But it was the fact that he wasn't wedded to any particular ideology that came across forcefully to me. And certainly 2 weeks, I think it was, after I'd spoken to him, he came out with a statement of support for the Freedom Charter. And a lot of people interpreted that he would then try and be a hardline socialist if he was released. Persona, style, everything about him is that he was a fox, that he didn't actually wed himself to one idea like a hedgehog. He actually had lots of different ideas in his mind, and he was juggling them up, and he was taking everybody's perspective in order to reach a balanced opinion about the future. He was thin in a very fit sense, but he was just a lot thinner than those photographs which show him as a boxer. Yeah, I mean, he was full of zest, and he was very well informed. That was really what struck me. He could quote facts at me as much as I could quote facts at him. So, you know, I was just struck by how knowledgeable he was, but most of all by how gracious he was in terms of the whole interview. And I just felt, I felt on a high when I came out. I walked down, I went back into Cape Town to Fish Hoek Beach, and I walked the length of the beach in my suit thinking, gosh, I've seen the great guy, and it was a fabulous experience.